beautiful people. Welcome to the very first episode of the After Game Night podcast. With you, we are your hosts. My name is Axel from Dallas Amigos, and I'm joined by my friend, the Masked Maple. How are you doing today, Masked Maple?
I think I was doing pretty good so far until I hear your very sensual voice on my ears, and I was like kind of disturbing, right?
Oh no!
I,
All
I
right,
I feel
this.
like I feel like the temperature start to increase even when we
Mm,
are almost 100 over here. But now doing pretty good, pretty excited as
awesome.
well. We have been postponed this project for for a very long time,
We
but
have.
we're finally here. We're finally here,
It's
and
happening.
it's happening,
It's
happening.
happening.
Beautiful
Like
people.
that meme. I was like, "Don't panic. It's happening."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I
Excellent.
will have a panic attack at the beginning. Like, oh, I don't know what to
Mm,
do. I don't know what to say. But it's pretty easy. Just it's talking about the things that we love, pretty much.
mm-hmm.
Games, alcohol, things like that. So things that
Excellent.
we normally
Excellent.
like people in their 30s love to do.
Exactly. So, since this is our very first episode of our podcast, I think it'll be a good idea to let the people know who we are and why they should join us every Monday. So,
Yeah, that
Maski
will be
Maple,
good.
please tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit, yeah, because it's kind of ironic to ask a masked man to
Hmm, hmm.
actually explain uh, or try to explain what the hell is that guy.
Yes.
Obviously, I will not reveal my name, even with pretty much everyone who knows
Well,
me
maybe,
knows my
maybe
name.
if we get to 1,000 subscribers, maybe there'll be a special episode
Yes,
where Maski
right.
Maple
Yeah,
reveals his face. But we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that will be a very good a goal that we may have
It'll be a
some point
stretch goal.
eventually. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stretch goal. Yeah, like Kickstarter. Think like you can think like we are doing a
Exactly.
Kickstarter podcast here.
Mhm, mhm.
Pretty much. So yeah,
All right.
well, so far, I just a masked man that I love wrestling and I love board games. When you mix up these two things, this is what you have. A guy that tried to make fun of fun things, which are board games, because board games are for fun.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it was about 2 years when I started to taking pictures. I don't know exactly why, what was the reason,
2
but yeah,
years.
it just start.
So that
Yeah,
was after the pandemic,
no,
2021
before pandemic. So it was
or
before that.
2019?
No, 2020. I don't know. I'm very bad with
Well,
years. Just
2020 was pandemic
20,
time.
2020. Yeah. So maybe probably around that time. Don't remember exactly. I don't. The only two things that I know is that my youngest daughter hasn't been born yet, by that time.
Mhm.
And second thing is I was living in a different apartment, so that's for sure. I'm pretty bad with the dates and times, but so far that's about couple of years or so when I started to introducing myself in the hobby, but
Okay.
more in deep, like not only just couple of games or just trying the getaway games, something like that, for getting involved
True,
in
true.
the hobby.
That's
So
true.
and after that, I just one day I realized that the same way I discovered board games, modern board games, was like, oh, there's people taking pictures of their board games. What a surprise! And they're having a lot of likes and stuff like that. And they're having fun, and they so it was like a huge discover for me, and um, I started doing the same thing. I was terrible. I'm not saying that I'm good enough right now, but I think
Mhm,
I think I'm improving somehow. And yeah, well,
mhm,
that's how everything started, right? And I just started as a regular guy. I have another name in my account, and then one day,
mhm.
like, okay, I have this. I tried to create an identity for my account, and I think, what's the other thing I like the most? Wrestling. I like to hit the people. So I'm Mexican, so I like there are two things that Mexicans do right very well: hitting other people in their faces and run away.
Not
So,
not every Mexican, I guess. A disclaimer.
well, yeah, but
Maybe half of the Mexicans.
it's
It's
within
a,
our
it's part
blood.
of our
It's in our
culture.
blood. It's in our blood.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, but yeah, so far that's how it happened a couple of years ago, like I said. And well, this is what we have. Some reviews every other day. and this is maybe every other week. Reels and hanging around pretty much. I
The content creator life.
want to create a live. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
This is also some other thing that I just recently discovered. But we'll talk about more in detail along all the episodes. We have plenty of time.
we have plenty of
Not
time.
today, but we have to share it with my friend here. So yeah, I'll leave the stream to Axel now. If
Excellent. Well, in my case, I also started making content for board games because of the pandemic. And back in
mm,
2020, it. I mean, I've been obsessed with board games way before that, but that's the topic of of today's episode, which we'll get to it in a little bit. But I'll just say that I started sharing content about board games back at the beginning of 2020. I
mm,
just, but like most people, I'm guessing, had a lot of time on their hands, and I just wanted to like share that with somebody. I wanted to talk about it with people, and what better place to talk about it on the internet? So I started with Instagram. I also did a lot of pictures and videos of how to playthroughs and setups and reviews of board games that I had in my collection.
mm.
And eventually, I made the jump to YouTube. Um, but YouTube making videos, it's a little more time consuming than taking pictures. So that was challenging. And another thing that I wanted to do with my project with Dados and Amigos is that I wanted to cater to both English speaking and Spanish speaking communities. I know that board games is already big among the English speaking communities, but it's still a pretty young topic among the Spanish speaking, especially in Mexico, that which is where we're both from. So
Maybe not.
anyway, yeah. So anyway, we that's why I started the project, and everything went back to normal in 2021, or the new normal, and
Hmm.
I had less time in my hands. But I've been trying to do things here and there to keep the project alive because talking about board games is something that I'm very passionate about, and therefore here we are talking about board games in the new podcast. So what about
Exactly.
since we're mentioning the podcast, maybe we should talk about what this is and what our viewers can expect from this, and why they should join us every Monday.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I think you will find here like a good start for your week. It's like it's an oasis for you at the end of every Monday. I personally hate Mondays. I identify 100% with Garfield. You remember that cartoon Garfield, this
Mm-hmm.
orange cat? I love that
Mm-hmm.
guy. Also love lasagna, but pretty much I hate Mondays as well. So yeah, very terrible start a week with saying, "Oh, it's Monday again," and right now there's so many people going back to their offices, me including. So it's
Mm.
hard to always start the working week, and yeah, this is kind of like okay, let me forget about whatever happened at the beginning of the week at my
Mm-hmm.
work, and then just talking about one of the things that I enjoy the most, pretty much. And we can laugh together. You can laugh at us. So it's pretty much what one of the main reasons I think this is why I joined this project, honestly, because maybe at some point we will tell you about the history, how we met. Yeah, it was pretty lovely and fun, but it's part of also the communication that we are having since then, and why we decided to make this project, because also we know that one of the goals of our generation, the big achievement of our generation, is one, try to have our own place to live, and second, have a podcast. So we so this is it. I'm
It
trying
does
to get
appear
my,
like it's a
yeah, I mean, so far so good, right?
yeah.
And we're trying, I mean, also we're trying to improve. This is just our beginning. It's
We're not
very
professionals.
first
Neither of
time.
us have done a
No,
podcast before in
no.
our lives.
It's
We like we mentioned, we take pictures. We have a little bit knowledge of like
uh,
making videos, putting some reviews together. But we definitely are not professionals when it comes to making live, especially
No,
live
we
podcasts.
are we are not even professional talking, as you can see right now. So, but we are doing our best, trying to do our
Yeah.
best, and
Hopefully after
enjoying.
100 episodes, let's set a
Yeah,
an objective that maybe after 100 episodes will be
yeah.
better. So
Hopefully, we
you
don't
have to
guarantee now. Yeah, yeah. Well, take
you
it
have to
easy.
subscribe to see what happens when we
Oh,
reach to the 100 episode, if we're better
nice.
than episode 1.
Nice, yeah. It's
Yeah,
an
but yeah. Hmm.
invitation and an order. It's a command. So yeah, if you are watching it out right now, please do it. So we'll
Yes.
promise that we're going to do a well, um, trying to improve ourselves
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the episodes. Okay, so yeah, so far. So let's go and get into our what will be our uh, episodes structure so far.
Yes, yes. Remember that the podcast called After Game Night, and I think, like I said, I think we'll leave that story for a different episode and how we came
Mhm,
up with the reason
mhm.
for the name. But you're right, we are gonna have a structure to our episodes. We wanna keep our episode short. I know that you guys, everyone's a busy adult, most of us, and we don't have time for watching all the immense infinite content that's made every day. So we want to try to keep it short, fun, and relaxed and informative too about
Yeah,
board
so
games.
far. Yeah,
So
we cannot promise that our information, the information that we will provide to you, will be
we'll be
accurate.
through.
But
Yeah.
well, you will receive something. You will know.
Yes.
You will leave this episode knowing
Knowing
something
something new.
exactly,
You learn
something new.
something new here.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, so like Maske was saying, the episodes are gonna have a three-part structure.
Mhm,
The first part of the episode is gonna be the any we're going to talk about any games that we have played recently. Since this is a weekly episode, we're going to be talking about games that we played during the week,
mhm.
even if it's just one, even if it's just a party game. uh
I love how you despise the party games, even if that's a party game. Okay,
that counts, that
I
counts, it
like it.
counts in this.
It's count towers. Okay,
It's a
okay.
safe place.
It counts towers.
um
Okay.
then the second part of the episode is going to talk about a specific topic that we're going to cover in that episode, and it just so happens that in today's episode we're going to talk about how we're going to talk about our first time in
Woo!
modern board games. So pretty much
Aw.
how we enter this world. And then for the last part of the episodes, we're going to be talking about news or chismecito, like we say in Spanish, which really means gossip. But any news, anything that we think is worth sharing about the board game world that's happening during that week. But yeah, so three-part structure on the episodes. Hopefully, we don't know. We won't try to stick to a very strict um, time constraint, but we're gonna try to shoot for like 1 hour,
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. Yeah,
And we would like to ask that you don't be shy and send us a couple texts. This is a live stream, so don't be shy and get in the chat. Let us know your thoughts, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us. Uh,
yeah.
we'll be happy to read you.
We love to get in a good discussion and get argue or have some arguments. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's also within the human nature to enjoy like the things you mentioned, like this chismecito, the gossips. We love gossips. We have to admit it. This is just
We'll
something we
try to keep the
enjoy.
drama. We don't want to get controversial here.
Well,
We'll keep the
he does.
drama
I
mild.
I cannot guarantee that, but yeah, definitely this is something that we are trying to keep in the same way every episode. I mean, in terms of the structure, just like Axel mentioned,
Mhm.
but as well, it's fun sometimes. Like okay, trying to connect some points and don't have like this. Square structure every time because we will love eventually to have more interactions with the
Yeah.
people that is
Yeah, with
watching.
our viewers.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, but so far, and this is just because we are new here, we are the new podcasters in the block. So we're try to figure it out how can we make it work and try to get our points in a good structure and just having fun at the end. That's the point.
Yep.
But
That
yeah,
is
let's
subjective.
get started with that.
All right. So today's episode, I know that we said that we're gonna have games that we played, the topic,
Mhm.
and then news. But just for today, just for you guys, just for the people that are watching us, but
This is for
for the very
you. This is
first
for
episode,
you.
we're gonna start with the topic because we feel
Yes.
that it's important that you start by learning about us, learning how we got into the hobby. So
Mhm.
Masked, you wanna share with us how you stumble upon the rabbit hole and now
Yeah.
you're find yourself making a podcast about board games?
This can be like a very interesting story because I mean, this could be, but I'll try to make it like not that
Make
fast,
make it
you know.
interesting.
Make
Make it
it
interesting.
interesting. I'll
Make
try,
it fun.
maybe I'll make up some couple of things just to make
I
this.
play Catan and then I'm here.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. So far,
No, no.
no, no. Uh, I don't know. Probably, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Catan is a very popular game. I personally don't like it. I don't want to use the other word that probably will create
Oh,
some
that
issue
could be
within
a
the community.
whole
But
episode
I don't
topic.
like it. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
All
Either
right.
there's
So
none of
no
those.
Catan.
But that's not the way I enter this amazing world. Um, there was about also a couple of years ago. Couple of years ago, I don't have any specific year or a specific date. I was traveling with my family
Hmm.
and with some friends, and one of the stops that we had to make in our way to our final destination
Hmm.
was the house of one of our friends. So then, when I was kid, I or teenager, I used to play like trading card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering. So that's
Okay.
pretty much what I started playing, and also
So it's like your
in
first
very
contact.
first contact. But I personally don't consider those board games or even card games in a strict sense of this whole tabletop world. Even
Hmm.
though there are like Magic the Gathering, especially, is like the cornerstone of a lot of games right now,
Yep.
and um, but no, well, that was my first approach with the world
Okay.
of
So trading
gaming,
card games.
trading card games. And I don't know if that was the case for you as well, but in Mexico there was like a Mexican version for Monopoly. We called it
Hmm.
w- in what's the correct
World
translation? World
tourist.
tourist, world
World
tourist,
tourists.
world
It's pretty
tourist.
much the same idea, but instead of buying properties, you're buying countries.
Countries.
You're
Yes.
buying countries.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Which for me is more accurate than just buying properties. Will make it more interesting, right? So you will have control of the continents instead of
You're
of
conquering the
I don't know
world.
what exactly, basically. So that was also some game nights, so-called game nights with my family,
Hmm.
and I really enjoyed that time with my family. But there were like basic things that I just tried first time. But my very first approach with modern board games was, like I said, I will come back to the story when I stopped by the house of one of my friends, and he got in one of their shelves of corner. I don't know exactly where. Was like this huge box there over there with a really awesome art in the cover and the side cover everywhere.
Okay.
Then after that, I just read the name of the game or the whatever. I didn't even know. I don't even know that um, that was a game. I was just like, what the heck is
That's a
this?
beautiful box. You were like, you know what? I need that box. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
exactly. Yeah,
inside, but I
exactly,
need that
exactly.
box.
So, yeah, exactly, exactly. And what happened was like that box contained Gloomhaven. So
Gloomhaven?
Gloomhaven,
Are you
Gloomhaven.
kidding me? That's not a
No, no, no,
box.
no. That
That's
was the
a
box. That was the box that my friend had
that's a
on.
house.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Um, so I asked him, "What the heck is that?" And the son of gun is just told me like, "Ah, yeah, this is a game, but it's just too advanced for you. It's a forget it."
Oh.
But like, what? I'm trying to learn something here, fella. And he was like, "No, it's like a complicated. Like, have you ever tried D&D? What the heck is D&D?" So yeah, you see, so you will not understand something like, okay, okay, but just
So you got
explain me.
rejected.
I exactly. I feel like okay,
Sad.
I complained, but
Sad moment.
but I got the idea in my mind. Like, I need to know what the heck was that. because for me it was like, what is that? Is this a board game? Really?
Mm.
So then that happened, like like I said, when we were traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we came back, the week after, I started looking for game stores. And the first local
Okay.
game store that I visited, it was pretty close to the place I was working.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got in there the very first time. I saw a lot of boxes with a lot of games that I have never ever heard about.
Did they have World Tourist Monopoly?
No, unfortunately not. I was I was trying to look for something like, where's the Monopoly, people? Where is the life here? Where's Risk? Because for
Yeah.
me the most advanced game ever was Risk as well.
Yeah.
It was like very complex, and I was, oh, Risk is like for very advanced players, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I that was the gateway for me in terms of games. And that very day, I remember I had to ask, because I knew nothing about this world that I just
Mm-hmm.
discovered. And I asked one of the person that was working there. So please tell me, what do you recommend? A newbie here, a newbie. So you tell me, I'll
Mm-hmm.
follow
Mm-hmm.
you. I'll follow you to the end of the world. Just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And he told me, have you ever played Magic? I said, yeah, yeah, I have played Magic. Yes. So, well, this game is from the designer that created Magic, and that game
Okay.
was called Carnival of Monsters. That was my
Interesting.
very first game, modern board game that I ever tried.
That
And
you
this
ever
because,
tried? Did you buy it?
yeah, 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 I tried and buy it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so I
So you
tried.
were convinced. You were
Yeah,
like, you
it
know
was
what? I
like,
like this.
yeah, I mean, it was like
Take my money.
boom, boom. For me, it was like a huge discovery. Like I said, a huge
Mm.
discovery.
Um.
So yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty much the history how
So
I
you
got engaged with that. Hmm.
so you went from Monopoly, Mexican Monopoly, and Risk and trading card games to Carnival of Monsters. Like you didn't have all it took for you was to see
Yeah.
a box of Gloomhaven, and you were like, "What is that?" And
Hmm.
that got you interesting and looking for it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had that the terrible, that horrible. That's something within me that, like, I need to know. I once I have an idea,
Yeah.
I need to learn about it
Complete
and
it.
then try to discover it. Like, oh no, no, I got obsessed. So yeah, sorry
Mhm.
guys, I skipped Catan. I never learned first
How
Catan or Ticket to Ride.
how
I
much
never touched those games
how much
before.
time did it pass before you played Catan or Ticket to Ride?
Oh,
After you entered the world of
about
board
like
games.
maybe a year, more than a year. And that
Interesting.
was because one of my friends, uh, we also start getting, trying to get more games, and we
Hmm.
start like at the same time we start together. Let's say,
Yeah.
I'll send regards to my friend Raziel, the Random
Oh
Meeple.
yeah. Random
So
Maple. Shout out
yes,
to Random Maple Instagram.
nah, well, just say hi, not yeah. And yeah, that guy also, he spent one Christmas with us, and this exchange of gifts and like that. He asked
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
Catan. Say, oh my God, you have tried Catan. This is so good. He was like, okay, yeah, you got it, man. That's just you. I remember I asked what game I asked on that Christmas for. I don't remember, but it wasn't
Mm.
Catan or Ticket or. But
It was
that's
Gloomhaven, probably.
probably no, no, and go figure. But the same friend that had Gloomhaven
Hmm.
at his home when we visited him, and
Yeah.
the very first time, it was like 2 years after, maybe,
Hmm.
for my birthday, he gave me Gloomhaven as my birthday present.
What?
Yep. Yeah. So
So,
another
do you
shit
still
that's
have Gloomhaven?
yeah, I do.
Have you played it?
Yeah, 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 of course.
Have you finished
Unfortunately,
it?
no, I haven't finished the
How many? How
campaign.
many? How many?
It's another story. That's another story.
Okay, that's true. We'll leave it for another episode.
I
We'll
completed
leave
like,
sad stories for another episode.
yeah, yeah. I think, because I don't know for sure, but I think like it was like halfway to the campaign so far.
Oh,
But yeah, that's
all
a
right.
sad
We'll
story that
leave
we
the
will
details
share it
for
another
another
time.
episode.
But
Excellent.
that's me, that's my story. and I
All
just
right.
wanted to open my heart to you people, and I just
Oh,
tell you my story. How like that was my first time.
that was his first time.
That
Very
was my
special.
first time. Yes.
Remind me. So, how long ago was that? How many years ago was that? We're in
So yeah,
2023
I
right
just
now.
don't happen to you like sometimes like yeah it was like 10 years ago. Oh yeah,
It's
the
been
20
longer.
no it
That's
was
what
like
happens
20
when you get old.
yeah. So no, so it was before 2020 or at the beginning of at the beginning of
Okay, so
2020,
you
things like that.
discovered modern board games back in 2019.
Maybe
Wow.
yes.
So four
So
years. It's not too much.
yes, probably. Well, let me do some math right
Okay.
now because my oldest daughter already has 6 years, and
Mm-hmm.
when we made that trip,
Mm-hmm.
she had yeah, that's a good calculation, almost 3 years. So yeah, 3 years something, 3 years around 3 years. It
2020,
was like yeah,
2019. Interesting. All right,
yeah.
all right.
So yeah.
Um,
What
very
about
good,
you?
very
Now,
good. How
now
about me?
I open my heart. I need you to get
I'll share
naked
my story once we
also.
get to 10 subscribers.
Okay. Oof, well,
Okay, all right. Well, that's
good
it
night.
for
Good night,
today.
people.
Good night, people.
That's
No,
it.
no, I'll share my story.
Hmm.
So, I always loved board games, and just like you, I
Hmm.
only was aware of Mexican Monopoly and Risk because that's really all you get in
What
Mexico.
do we
At
have?
least
Yeah.
back then. At least back then. Hopefully nowadays there's a better selection, but those are the most popular by far. Anyway, but even though they're not the greatest board games, I always want to play them. The problem is that no
Hmm.
one wanted to play with me because
Right.
everyone thought that they were boring. I mean, you play once and that's it. Like those games can go forever. That
You,
too. But
you
anyway,
know, you know what's another game that maybe probably we all played in Mexico? Jenga. That's also
oh
very.
Jenga, yeah,
Have you ever
dexterity.
played that? That dexterity game.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, the family one because Jenga is like for the number of players you want. I mean, you can play with 20 people if you want, right? So
yeah.
so far, it was like, okay, they put the Jenga there. It was like very excited. Yeah, go ahead. I
All
almost
right.
forgot. Go
Well,
ahead. Hmm.
anyway, that's all I knew, and I was kind of disappointed that that's all there was, at least as far as was aware of. And
Mm.
that was my childhood, and then I so for my undergrad studies, that's when I moved to the United States to study my undergrad, and I started dating this beautiful girl, which is just now happens to be my
Mm.
wife. Uh,
Uh,
shout out to
we don't
yeah.
want you. We don't want to know your that first time.
Okay.
We
Oh,
want
you
to
don't want
know
to know
the
that
other
first
first
time?
time. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Well, it's important. It's important because
Okay. Okay. Okay.
during my undergrad, we'll get to that part. But during my undergrad, we, I had a group of friends that invited me to play a board game, and I was like, "What board games?" Like this spark from my childhood
Mm.
rekindle, and I was like, "Oh yes, let's go play Risk. Let's go play Mexican Mexican Monopoly."
I will
And
make that.
then
I have
when
this.
I joined them, they were like, "Okay, so we're gonna be playing Catan." And I saw
Ah.
Catan. I saw Catan, and I was like, "This thing has like wooden pieces, and you have like houses." I was like, "Wait, are those houses like Monopoly houses?" I'm like, "Oh no, no, you are very lost." And they had like these roads, and they had cards, and they had hexagons, and it has a map that you built every time. And then they were explaining, like, well, you also have resources, and they were explaining how you play and how you trade with people, and my mind was blown. My mind was like, I want this. I want to know more about this. Anyway, we
Mm.
played, and I don't even remember if I won or lost. I probably lost for sure.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I was hooked with it. I was like, okay, when are we playing again? When are we getting back together to play? So that's how I discovered that there was more than just uh, Mexican Monopoly or Risk.
Mm.
However, not long after that, when I went to visit my girlfriend's, now my wife's, parents'
Mm.
house,
Mm.
we were looking for a deck of cards in their basement, and there was a box that caught my attention. Among the many things, people put many things in their
Jumanji.
basement. Jumanji, exactly.
They
I
have
heard,
drums. Dun,
I
dun,
heard
dun,
like
dun,
boom,
dun, dun,
boom,
dun,
boom. No,
dun.
no. I saw. We were looking for a deck of cards because we want to
Mm.
play some kind of like
Mm.
card game.
Hmm.
and we were looking for them, looking through the boxes, and then there was a pile of boxes, random pile of boxes, just sitting there, and I felt like there was like this ray of light coming from the heavens and shining this one box that was on the very top of the pile. I went. I was like, I was mesmerized. I went directly to the box and I saw it, and it had this really cool art that had like Greek mythology and
Oh
monsters
no!
fighting.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Oh
I know
yeah!
what I know what it's called.
Oh
Oh,
yes! Well, no
okay.
spoilers. No spoilers. Okay, so I
No,
took
okay.
it and I was like, "What is this? Is this kind of like a video game? Is this like a, I don't know, some cool shoes with Greek mythology art?" And then I open
Yeah, of
it
course.
and it's like, well, I got closer. I rotated to the back where all the information is, and I'm like, what? This is a board game? I was like, all right, we're not playing card games tonight. We're gonna play this thing.
Wait,
And
time out, time out,
what?
time out.
What?
That box belongs to your girlfriend, that now your wife, or who belonged that box?
That box belonged to my wife's brother, who he wasn't living in the house
Oh,
anymore. He wasn't living in
okay.
the house anymore. He moved out, and but the box
He
was still there.
left
That's why
that
it was
for
in the
you.
basement.
It
I
was
know,
your
right?
destiny. It was the
It was
destiny
destiny.
calling you. Okay, cool, cool. Okay.
um
Mm.
anyway, yeah, I brought it up and I saw the rules, I saw how it play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the game that I'm talking about, by the way, is called Cyclades or Cyclades. Yeah, that game, if you haven't played, you need to play it. That was my next step in modern board games, and I was like, after that game, that's what pushed me to do like look up online, like type on Google
Mm.
board games, modern board games, and then I discovered Board Game Geek, and the rest is history. I was
Oof.
lost. Yeah,
Yes.
but that's yeah, that's
That's
how I
like
got
the
into this thing.
that's like the door of the for the hell itself. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
another
Yeah.
thing, another detail about that story is that we tried to play Cyclades and it took so long. We were so bad. The rules made no sense. It was so difficult. But now I
Okay.
look back at the game and it's like one of the easiest games to understand
Mm.
ever. But back then it took us, I think one
Of
game took us like
course, of
three
course.
to 4 hours because we could not understand the rules.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely.
hey, Mask, you know what? I think we have some comments already.
Oh
I think we
yeah,
should
I'm
get to
getting
them.
excited. I'm getting excited. We have people
Yay.
watching
Let's see.
us.
Let's see. Chronological order.
What
We
what
have,
what 101? Do you want to do 101?
yeah, you
Yes.
start because the second one is a
Yeah.
special
Yeah,
one for
exactly.
me.
Special. Yeah. That's what I wanted to leave it to you. Okay.
All right, go
So
ahead.
Mandy Baron from Happy Meeples. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for your support.
Hmm.
She's a wonderful people. I met them at GenCon.
Okay.
We have another story for all these
Gen Con is
beautiful
definitely
people,
going to be multiple
but
episodes.
but so far I just want to say hi to Mandy, who's watching us right now. But yeah, well, that's our very first comment. Thank you so much, Mandy.
Yay. All right. Second comment, it's from
Ooh.
my back then girlfriend, now my wife, Haley. She's
Oh.
asking, she's trying to correct
Mm.
my story. She says like from the heavens or from the window. It was probably from the window, but to me it felt like it was a sign, it was
Yeah.
a signal. It was like, look
Of
at this
course, it
box.
was from the heaven. For of
It
course,
was,
yes,
yeah, I
it
saw it
was. It
happen.
was.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Remember, we're not making up stories here. We are just trying to make it more interesting. That's all we do.
Spice it up.
Yeah. So our next comment is from Adri Mora.
Three Wonder
Adri
Meeple.
from Wonder Meeple. Yes, a very dear friend of us. And she said that's why you love it so much. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it
Aw.
holds a special place
Now,
in my
I
collection.
honestly, I was like trying to understand why you love that game so much. We also we can even have an entire episode about cyclists,
Yeah,
and Axel
yeah.
can host the whole thing.
Half my YouTube channel is about
Yeah,
cyclists. It
exactly.
should be
Yeah,
called Cyclists, the
no
YouTube
lies,
channel, but
no lies, no lies here.
yeah.
So yeah,
All
it's
right,
our
and then
next.
finally,
Hmm.
oh yeah, we have Alba Ponce de Leon says cyclists, órale, on my shelf of ay que pena. No, como
Ah,
hacer?
no, it's
Alba,
not. No,
why? Get
it's
it
the
out.
shelf of
Put it on the
shame.
table right now. Put it on the
Shelf
table.
of
Go watch my
shame.
videos. Easy to play. 10 minutes.
Yeah. Axel suffered the rules for you so everyone can enjoy the game
I
after
was like, you know
watching
what?
the
Everyone needs to
tutorial.
know how to play cyclists. If there is one
Well,
video I'm gonna make, it's gonna be a tutorial for cyclists.
exactly, and that's what he did. Exactly.
See,
Yes.
Mandy is convinced. She says that she wants to play cyclists.
I want. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not big deal, Mandy, but still, yeah, you might have fun. I
Yeah,
don't I
yeah.
don't I don't want to give
I
too
gotta
much
say,
attention
I
to
gotta
that game
say,
because, like I said, this game can consume all the podcast just because
that's true.
Axel
That's
can
true. We'll
talk
move
about
on.
the
We'll move
game.
on. We have other topics to
Yeah,
cover today.
yeah.
All right. So anyway, those were our very first experiences with the board game world.
Hmm.
And if you follow us on Instagram, after game night podcast, we did ask anyone to share their story, and
Yeah, exactly.
we got a couple people that share their story. By the way, if anyone that's watching, you guys feel free to share your story too. We'd love to read it.
Yes, please, pleaseito. So yeah, let's get started with that. Do you want to
Yes,
start first, or
you got it. You got it. You can start.
I can start? So why you always leave this to me? You always have to lose. No. So yeah, we have the first coming from our dear friend Josh. So
Hmm,
Josh
hmm.
is also
Just
a very
from
Geek Night
where?
Games. He from where?
From Geek
from
Night
from
Games.
Geek Night Games. Yes, another
Yeah, yeah.
awesome channel. Um, we will probably will discover along the road that most of the comments and most of the interaction that we have maybe at the beginning comes from friends or colleagues,
Hmm.
content creators,
Content creator colleagues.
colleagues, which is great. It's amazing. But we will try to also shout out every one of you when you,
Mm, yeah,
because you are doing the same for us
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
far. So Josh said, my first experience was watching Will Wheaton tabletop, and I fell in love with King of Tokyo. He misspelled saying Link of Tokyo, but I think it's King of Tokyo, right? And it was an amazing experience when I was finally able to play that game on my table with friends. King of Tokyo. So that game, I have never played as well. King of Tokyo in a
Hmm.
table. I just played in BGA. It was like 2 weeks ago or so. It was the very
Hmm.
first time. I honestly don't feel like I like the game because for me it was like just
King of Tokyo.
throwing dices
Well,
and
hey, that's how he got
dice.
into the. Hey, that's how he got into the game,
Yeah,
into
no,
the
I'm
modern
just
board
trying to.
games.
But it's a terrible story. I just want to say that. No, no, that's okay. No,
Excellent,
just
excellent.
that was the first time, and yeah, it's great that somehow people are also engaged.
Hmm,
I
hmm.
think that's the healthiest way to get engaged with the hobby, right? With the simple games, with games
Yeah,
that that
I mean, to
show
be
you
honest,
something new, but at the same time, it's like you said, it was like level up whatever you were
yeah,
playing. Then it's like next step, and then you can, you are climbing along the road and
yeah,
uh,
you just go deeper and deeper into the hole
oh
of
yeah, you can go down
how many
or
games
high,
there are.
whatever you want.
You
But
know what?
yeah,
Maybe another reason why a lot of people start with Catan and Ticket to Ride or King of Tokyo is because if you started way back then, I don't know. For me, I didn't mention it, but that was back in 2016,
okay, good.
2015, 2015 actually, 2015. Um, there were not that many board games back then. There were a lot, yes, but the most common ones
The
were those
boom,
three.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
people that
Hmm.
are getting into the hobby like this year, for example, they might start with, I don't know, Wingspan or
Yeah,
Azul.
yeah.
Those are very common nowadays.
That's one of the questions that I was about to ask you. Do you think that probably because back in, I don't know, let's put it 7 years ago,
Yeah.
right? There were different types of games,
Yep.
gateway games
Mm-hmm.
that will, uh, you know, available for people to start with the hobby. But right now, it's like a ton of games and ton of options that you can choose from, and
Yep.
then it will be very difficult just to pick one or just stick with the same classics as gateway games,
Yeah.
right? It's like you
Yeah.
can try. right now, I'm just quick mention. I recently play a game that for me is the an option or the alternative for Ticket to Ride, which is
Okay.
Sunrise Lane. Basically
Okay.
the same mechanic, but for me it's more interesting. And I
Okay.
offered that game for one of my gaming groups, and that was their gateway game,
Okay.
basically, right? It's because it's very
So it was something
simple.
similar.
It's similar, simple, but at the same time, it's just a little bit more something, you know.
Yep.
But yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Let's keep
So
moving with the next um,
I
comment.
guess we should yeah, we should address our viewers right now, and then we'll get to the comments from Instagram. We have Mandy share with us. She
Mm-hmm.
says, Nick and I have always owned games. They have always have been part of our relationship.
Oh.
COVID definitely was the slippery slope into our giant collection of Instagram account now. Yeah, I think that was it for most people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do
Mm-hmm.
you, man, do you remember when? Can you recall, like, when did you start that slippery slope? Like, when did you, what were your first board games, really? It sounds like COVID was the one that pushed you past the edge, but
Right.
when did you actually start? She also responded back. She says, "We don't regret anything because it was a foundation in both of our childhoods, and being at the table together
Oh
built a
my.
relationship that is very valuable of the board game world.
Wow.
It really
Nice.
creates memories and brings people together.
That's why you
That's
guys are so awesome. I love you guys.
hmm,
It's amazing. And this is one of the things that also is comes with board games, right?
hmm,
Sometimes it's like trying to have fun, but in the back end, you realize that also you create connections in the different ways, because by the time you're playing, you are also uh, enjoying the time and also talking about a lot of things. And before or in between games, you can talk about all, how's your week, how's everything at home, your day. It's amazing because it also creates a different interaction between the people that are playing around the table. It's amazing. It's one of the things that
it is.
I also love about board games. We have another comment from Adri saying, "I think I started backwards with a difficult game, and then I learned the easiest one." I mean, there is no way, or there is no specific path that people
Hmm.
need to follow in order to get
Hmm.
engaged with board games. Like I said, I mean, the first time I saw a modern board game was Gloomhaven. But I mean, even if I was trying, or it was my first time where Gloomhaven maybe will be the most difficult thing that I ever tried to learn in my life, right? But
Hmm.
luckily, I have a good guidance at the beginning. Even with Carnival of Monsters, is not the easiest game I consider.
Hmm.
Still, is not that complex, right? But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's I believe that there is no specific path for people that needs to follow in order to start with the hobby. So
Yep.
yeah,
I agree.
hmm
So Monday just finished by saying that 2019, technically, Castles of Burgundy, Sight
I love that
Azul
game.
were some of our first modern games. Yeah,
Oh,
makes
awesome.
sense. Makes
Awesome.
sense.
Yeah, Castle of Burgundy, one of my favorites ever. And Alba Ponce de Leon says, deeper and deeper. You got me
Make
cacharon,
a
she said.
Charon.
Yeah. So that's what
Perfecto.
happened. It's also one of the terrible things that happen when you get engaged with board games.
Yeah.
What can I
Adri
say?
Adri also shared with us. She says that I think I started backwards with a
That's
difficult
what I
game, and
said.
then I learned this once. Yeah. What
I
what
said
was
that.
that game, Adri? What was that game? Let us know.
Oh yeah. 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 Just please
All right.
let
I
us
was
know.
trying. I was trying to share the comments that we got. I took a
Hmm.
screenshot of the comments, but I think I was making a mess. But we'll see if we can share it now.
Yeah.
So we have. Well, actually, Adri was one of the ones who replied to us on Instagram. So we
Yeah.
should have read that
Probably
first.
she will say the same time, the same thing.
Adri
But
Wonder Maple.
mhm.
She shared more than 10 years ago, and one of her first games was Zombicide. I have not played Zombicide. Can you believe that? There's
No,
so
me
many
neither.
Zombicides. There's like
Me neither.
Zombicide Mexican Monopoly, Zombicide Risk, Zombicide. There's
Right.
Zombicide for everything, and I have not played a single one.
Right. Yep.
We um Raciel,
Yep.
the Random Maple, also share with us. You
Okay.
wanna share
So
his?
Raziel said that Dead of Winter started
Mhm.
all like 5 years ago. So you liar! You said you started with me at the same. Okay. Okay. You're done with me.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, so Dead of Winter. Yeah, that's also one of the games that actually, I think the first game also when you play that, I don't know if that happened to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't know, because
Maybe.
you love cyclades. But I think that very first game, you also have a special care for that game.
For sure.
Probably you don't play it that often anymore that game, but it still is like I will never get out. I mean, I
We're
will
gonna
never get
sell
rid.
the
I will never
we're gonna sell
get
the
rid.
car before we sell cyclists.
Exactly, yeah.
That's it.
And also you've been you I mean that's my case. I don't know if that also your case, but you wanted to share that experience or that game with as many people as you can. That was the case of,
Mm-hmm.
every time a
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine, came and asked me about a game, that was my first option every time. um, and I think I give that game to one of my friends as well for his birthday.
Oh, you
Um,
that your copy or another
no, no,
copy?
no, 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 another
Okay, I
copy. Of
was like,
course, I
wow,
will
wow,
never.
this
No, no,
was a
no, no,
very
no. My
special
copy, no,
friend.
no, 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 never. No, no, no. Of course, never. But yeah. So that's what I said. It's like because Raciel did the same for me. He
No,
also give me that copy for one of my birthdays. He sent
yeah,
me the Dead of Winter, a copy of Dead of Winter. So
okay.
that's what I probably we create that. Not that we know now. I
Hmm.
know, but it was like. Something that probably we don't realize at the moment that we are
Mm,
trying to spread the love of that game with other friends. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
The Maples and Paninis,
Meeples
Nipple
and
Bananis,
bananas.
page
I
share.
cannot I cannot say the name without the song like Meeples and bananas. So she said the COVID, yeah, because
Yeah,
our question was very
I'll share a question. I have a
yeah.
picture of that too. If I can get to it, let me see. Let me see. Stop. Share screen.
Basically, what we asked when or what was your first time?
Yep.
Yeah, when and what was your first time playing modern board games? So she said, and she replied correctly, COVID. That what give us
Yeah.
makes a very interesting point because I personally believe that COVID brings a lot of people to the hobby, right? I mean,
Yeah. It did.
COVID.
COVID did a lot of bad things, but it did a good thing for board games.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Well, I
Oh,
think that's.
Alba Papa Leonis for my meeples and maninis. Oh my God. No,
Oh, Alba, we didn't know. This
you
is
didn't
I
read the cue
blame I
wrong.
blame Masket. I blame Masket. He was in charge of the comments.
No, but you did right. No, no, we were wrong. No, and actually you replied correctly. I mean, we asked when what was the first time. So yeah,
Mm,
that's
that's true.
pretty
That's
much the
true.
same. And she said wrote COVID because I read the key. No, you didn't read the question wrong. I thought I said
Yeah.
when
It
did
was
you start?
written wrong.
Yeah, exactly. My husband bought Jaipur, Jaipur. I don't know how to pronounce in English.
Jaipur?
Jaipur,
Jaipur? I don't know. Jaipur?
Jaipur. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the game when you sell goods
I
with
have
a
not played.
no. Well, it's a really. I have. I mean, I played that
Uh,
game in a convention with my oldest child. We have a copy now, and yeah,
mhm.
it's really fun. It's for two players. It's really cool.
Yeah. All
And
right.
yeah, I bought during COVID, and that was my first modern board game experience. Cool, awesome,
That's
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah, I hear very good things about Jaipur.
Hmm.
Uh, it's so interesting. There's a lot of these games that you guys have started with that I have not had a chance, an opportunity to play them. There's so many games to play,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we'll play
That's
them one day.
yeah,
Yep.
or not. Not. I mean, it's not.
Or yes.
It's not
Yeah.
necessary,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So
Yep.
that's the that the
Mm-hmm.
reply we have
Mm-hmm.
from Albert. So I hope you don't get mad when I sing your Instagram account, Alba, because it's
We'll
so
remember.
singable. Meeples
We'll
and
remember.
bananas. It's just awesome. And also because I have two kids, I just have that song all the time in my head.
Oh.
We have one more response. I
All
don't know if
right.
you have the chance to. Well, first you read about Adri here, and then
Yeah.
I'll share the other one.
Yeah. Just the thing about Zombicide is that there is a base game, and then Call Me or Not got crazy with lots of expansions. I played the base game at that time and one of the scenarios. Well, I don't. That's true. I mean, but I feel like they're not. Are they expansions? I feel like they're standalone games. They're just like reskin, and I think they changed like a couple of rules around to keep it fresh, but
Mm,
keeping a score.
yeah. We have now. Yeah, I think the same. I honestly just know that there is a lot of boxes about Zombicide, and I never ever have the chance to play it. Maybe because it doesn't call my attention. It's not like, okay, yeah, I should try it maybe, but at this point it's like, nah. It's just I
Well,
know I know that there are a lot of boxes. I don't
yeah,
know if they're expansions or standalone games, but
yeah.
yeah. Um, we have
Adri, thank
Mandy.
you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just gonna mention Adri here. She's saying that it is Hyper is available on BGA Board Game Arena, so we definitely need to play that. We
Yeah,
definitely need
yeah.
to play that. And then,
I will teach you wrong so you can just
well, you
and then
can't on Board Game Arena because rules are enforced in Board Game Arena.
yeah. Shit, I forgot about that. Man, you say Hyper is a staple. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Hmm.
I really like the game. I really like the game.
Yep. And
Oh,
then,
another personal. Come on.
oh,
It's all
Haley,
yours.
my wife,
All
she
yours.
says my family has always been really into games. I can remember playing lots of the classic games growing up, like Sorry, Shoots and Ladder,
Mm,
etc. My brother was really into board games for a while. Yeah, so that's the brother where that I somehow inherited cyclists from. Uh,
so you
but
stole
yeah,
from him.
it's
You stole
interesting.
it. So you
I
stole
did.
it. That's what you're
Secret.
saying.
And then she completed a story. She says, and then Axel found our family board game stash and brought me along for some of this journey. I'm not deep into the board game world, but I do love good worker placement. She
I
does
just
like worker placement. She sometimes gives me the opportunity to play a board game with her, and it's
Oh,
always a pleasure.
oh my
Hmm.
God, this is
Oh
so
yeah,
easy.
because like you said, I mean, board games creates beautiful memories,
Oh
and
yeah,
it
definitely.
makes you like spend time together without
Hmm.
screens. You know.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
we love screens too. That's why we are doing this. So please subscribe. Love them, guys. Love
Yes.
'em. Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And
Yep.
one of the amazing things as well is like I mentioned a couple of times so far at this point, but I have two kids, two girls,
Hmm. Yeah.
and they have started. The oldest, Frida, already has. She's 6 years old, and in- from when she was 3 years, maybe she started playing some memory games. You know, the classic kids games with cars, like the old lady, old something, whatever, the
Okay.
cards. And then she started, playing more, and more, and more, and more, and now she has her own collection. She can play whatever you play. I mean, not the she will not play
Right.
absurd, of course, but
I mean, the
so far,
important question here is at what age can you play cyclists?
yeah, yeah. Well, she doesn't know about it. Yeah, yeah. We'll keep that question
We'll keep
for
the question for
yeah,
later.
lock that. Yeah, we'll lock the question for a while. Don't worry about that. And what else? Yeah,
Oh,
old
actually,
maid. Old maid.
Mandy,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Mandy
Thank
and
you. Old maid.
Haley,
Thank you, Ellie.
old
Yeah,
maid. All
yeah.
right. All
So
right.
yeah,
Perfect.
so far,
Perfect.
we
All
have
right.
we have a last response. Like I said,
Oh, yeah.
I think we received that late in this afternoon before we started
Okay.
the show. So this came from Gamers Rush. He
Okay.
said, a mind blowing afternoon playing Power Read. That's all I needed to start 19 years
Wow.
ago. Wow.
19 years ago. So that's what,
19 years ago.
2004?
Oh no,
2004.
it wasn't in the 80s. Oh my God, yeah.
Wow. Power Grid. I didn't realize Power Grid was
It was
that
that
old.
old. Yeah, meaning
I have
no,
again another game I had not a chance to
no,
play yet.
no.
Excellent. Thanks, Gamer Rush, for the comment. And then, what do you think if we move on to part two of the podcast, which is where we get to share a little bit about um, the games that we have played recently?
Mhm. Yeah, okay. So you want to start?
You want the
Okay.
honors?
No, well,
Honors
I
go to the
always,
masked
always.
person.
Yeah, of course. Um, so I have finally. This is some news that I want to share with you, people. Um, Normally, I used to play games with my wife only, right? She also, I drag her into this world. Like you coming all the way down with me. So there is no way. So that way also I can have an excuse to spend money, It's like, yeah, we have this amazing game. You will have a very good
That's
time.
how you see
You
it.
will see.
She'll have to
Of
come to
course.
the podcast and share her story.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes she's now busy with the kiddos. But
Yeah.
so that was the case. And yeah, I mean, this is not a complaint at all. This is more like we were the only ones who were playing the whole collection so far.
Yep.
But at some point, it was when we have like a friend, even my mother-in-law, when she came and visit us for the first time, and we start playing that. Sorry, this one,
Hmm.
this game, this little one
Oh,
here,
it's
this
hard
one,
to see.
this one, yeah,
Wingspan. Okay.
Wingspan, yeah, Wingspan. That game is a hit for her. So she don't she doesn't know about English or whatever, but she knows now what the cards does because she kind of memorized the effects and the things, and because
Okay.
we played so many times,
Yeah.
and we also enjoy when we have more people involved with not only my wife and I.
Hmm.
So, but we were always trying to look for a group of people that also enjoyed or want to play with us. And we just recently found out a couple from Colombia that live near here, and they
Okay.
love board games. And
Excellent.
we knew now. See, what it was a. This is another story for another episode as well. How we get to,
Bring
how we
people
got
into the hobby. How do we
people into the
get
ball,
them
etc.
addicted?
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. They they told us like, okay, you know now what to give us for Christmas. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what to do? And yeah, so we have now this regular gaming group for the weekends, and this past weekend we played for the first time for them. We played Azul. We played. Let me see. That do a quick recap. Yeah, we
Mm.
played Azul. We played Carnival of Monsters.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
we played Carnival of Monsters. Um, we also played. Let me try to remember. I'm very bad with that in the meantime. But yeah, we played like 5 games. I remember. We played Here to Slay to close the
Okay.
night. Here to
Okay.
Slay because they also. I'm a very sadistic person in terms of board games. I love to hit
You like
people,
confrontation and aggressiveness and
confrontation,
violence.
vengeance, violence. I need it in.
Mm.
I mean, I also enjoy worker placement games and
Peaceful
things like
games.
that. Yeah, of course. But
Indirect.
whenever you tell me, okay, this is the game where you can, be mean and all, give it to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
yeah, I
no.
really like it. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I will not say that I don't. So yeah, we played those games, and yesterday, Sunday, yeah, we also had a chance with another group of friends,
Hmm.
another couple that they also liked board games. They're n- they also like it, but we cannot play with them as often as we are
Hmm.
playing right now with this other couple. And oh,
Yeah,
bye,
Monday has to
Mandy.
go. Thanks, Monday.
Thanks, Mandy. Thank you for the support.
Yeah.
And we played, but the first time, including myself, we played Point City, the new game, one of the new games from AG,
Okay.
and we also played Sea, Salt, and Paper from Pandasaurus Games.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, those were the games that so far I played, and also but we played also from my gaming group.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so those that were really really good
Wow.
time.
Did that
And good
all
time.
happen in 1 week, or are you talking about like previous
The
weeks as
weekend, the
well?
whole weekend, because this is now
Oh,
the time we have to play weekends, and
yeah.
we're trying to, try
Yeah.
to get the playing as many
Get the
games as we
games
can.
played.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. Um,
What about you?
Perfect. How
What
about
about you?
me? I most of my board gaming I have done lately has been through Board Game Arena. So I've been playing board games
Okay. Yeah, that
digitally.
count. Okay.
Same situation. Just my physical board games. It's just hard to get to the table. It's hard to get together with my friends. We all are busy. It's hard to find the time, but when we do, it's a really good time. Um,
Hmm.
with Haley, with my wife,
Mm.
we play. We've been trying to play one game a week. You know,
Okay.
we get to play a game a week. Specifically with her, I've been playing. We've been playing two campaign games. We're playing through Lord of the Rings, Journey Through Middle Earth, and
Oh,
we're playing through
nice.
Charterstone. So quite different
Mm.
games. I know that Charterstone is um it is recommended for the max amount of players, five, six,
Hmm.
five,
Hmm.
four. Two players, it's okay. You know, we can both see that it's better higher player count, but we're enjoying it. It's worker placement, and it has like that
That's what matters. That's what
campaign
matters.
legacy feeling, so
Yeah.
we like it.
Yep.
Um, I also for it was my birthday recently, so we played
Oh, nice.
we played Sis the Bean, which is a deck building game
I
about
never played that one.
having a coffee shop in Berlin, Germany.
Mm. Okay.
It's pretty interesting. It's a very simple worker placement, but kind of worker placement. You only have two workers, and you place them in your own table. You have six options to choose from. But the interesting thing is that there's a market where you can buy cards to add to not increase but improve the options that you have. So if before you could only
Mm.
get three coffee beans, now you can get five coffee beans and two milk or something like
Okay.
that. But the objective of
So
it
you
is that
power up. You power up your options, pretty much.
exactly you are
Mm.
improving the options as you go. And the
Okay.
objective of the game is that we are, like I said, we're the owners of this coffee shop, and we need to get the ingredients because we're going to be getting customers that have different needs. Like one of them might want a strong coffee, one of them might want a pastry, and one of them might want
Mm.
a, I don't know, a latte.
Okay.
And you need ingredients to make them happy. And if you make them happy, so if you satisfy their requirements, you get a good review, which means
Hmm.
victory points. And so
Okay.
when the stack of good reviews is depleted,
Empty. Okay.
then whoever has the most of the good reviews is the winner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very cozy. It's a cozy game. We like it, and it's not violent, right? It's a worker placement. We're
A
just
shame. It's a shame.
so
I mean,
it,
yeah, for me, like I have this phrase on my head all the time. Like you can always make a game be mean. I mean, you can
mhm.
always find some somehow to be like
Yes,
steal objectives, steal
destroy.
resources. Yeah, but no, you play it
No,
too
no, no, no. We
competitively.
like we like our
Yeah, no, I
cozy,
see. There's love
cozy,
for everything.
peaceful,
Okay,
happy
now that's
games.
what's the name of the game again?
It's called Seize the Bean. Let me see if
Okay,
I can type
system.
it
Okay, okay,
into the
okay,
chat. It was a
okay.
Kickstarter game that was, I don't know, from
You
a
back the
couple years
game?
ago.
You back the game?
I did. I saw it. I saw it, and I was like, you know what? This is a game that
I
Haley and
don't
I will
remember
enjoy.
seeing it before. Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good reason.
yeah.
Good reason. Good enough.
Um.
Seize the bean. Okay,
So
got it.
yeah. So I
I
played
have
that.
never heard about that. Okay.
No, I don't think they have done a good job at bringing it to retail. So unfortunately, if it's
Mm,
not out if you didn't get it from Kickstarter, then it's probably hard to get. Sorry.
well, you have one
Um,
of the games that are very special games.
they are.
Yeah, they are.
Another game, my last game that I'll mention on this episode is Etherfields.
Interface.
Etherfields
Okay.
by
Mm, mm,
Awakened Realms. Yes, that's a game that I also back to Kickstarter. Yeah.
mm.
If you guys don't know Kickstarter, stay away from it. That'll be a whole topic. But anyway, that's a game that I back on Kickstarter, and it arrived probably last year. And I didn't open it. I left it in shrink because I had so many games. There's a point where I started getting so many games that I wasn't playing. They were just sitting there,
Mm.
and I hadn't had the chance to bring them out to play. And I was like, well, maybe I don't want to open it because
Yeah,
if I don't
yeah,
play it, if I change my mind, then maybe I can sell it.
right.
But it was my birthday, and I was like, I'm gonna open a game. I'm gonna open a game for my birthday,
It's my
and
birthday, UMFs. It's my birthday.
and
what I want to do is you to dance now.
I
What
want to
what I'm.
open. I want to get the strength of a board game today,
Woo,
and
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Once per
and
year.
yeah,
Yeah, that's okay.
I gave myself the luxury of opening Etherfields, and I started. It's
Mm.
a which, by the way, if you don't know about it, it's a cooperative game where you are uh
Hmm.
the players represent dreamers and you're like in this
Right.
dream world, and overall it feels like a escape room kind of game where you go through dreams, and each dream you have to figure out
Please.
the puzzle to
Okay.
exit the dream and move on, and you're trying to figure out
Mhm.
why you're there in the dream world. But anyway,
It's is
it's
that is legacy or is
it
just
is a campaign game. I don't, as
campaign?
far as I know, it's not legacy, so you're not changing the components, but you are going through scenarios, and you
Okay.
know
So
you're
you
going
can
through a story.
you can replay the game at some point
Yeah,
when you edit the
and
campaign, and it will be different, or it will be like if you play the campaign once, you know pretty much what is next every time.
yeah, but I had enough time to read the rules, punch out
Okay.
all the components, and go through the tutorial, and I liked it. I mean, the art, Awaken Realms art, I love it. Their components, they're pretty famous for their miniatures. They're really good. So I'm hoping that this is a campaign that I can see all the way through. But at
Okay.
least I got started on that. Yeah. So those
Nice.
are the games I want to share with you guys today.
Perfect. Just a couple of
Yeah.
comments before we move to the next section. We have Mandy giving some complaints as well. Not for me. So, oh,
Episode
don't get
one,
me
and we
started.
already have complaints. What's
I love
happening?
it. I love it. I love it. Oh, so she said, "Oh, don't get me started on sea salt and paper. The Max Maple bait me into the game, and it was sold out. Sorry, I have said a ton of times already. It wasn't my fault. I honestly, I thought it would be enough copies for you to have
Oh,
but it was sold out the day. I promised her that I would get a copy for her. Sorry about that, but you, it will hit retail pretty soon, so I'll get it for you. I promise. Some
okay. All right.
point.
Yeah, and Adri, I think, is talking about the CC bean that I mentioned. She
Yep.
says that I heard
Yeah.
so many things about it, but no, it's not available. That's a shame. I hope that the publishers, which is Quality Beast, I think,
Mm.
um, I hope they find a way to bring it to retail because it's a good game.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to move on to part three of the episode where we
Yep.
talked about chismecito or
Oof.
news or anything that
The
we want to
most
share with you.
tasty part of the
The most
episode, I
tasty
will
part
say.
of this.
Oof. Oof. It's like, mm.
Oh wow.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Well.
definitely. No, I mean, so far, news are coming. Uh, for me, news are games that will hit retail pretty soon. Like I said, um, I had the chance to work in the past GameCon with the Pandasaurus game,
Hmm.
so I've learned about the upcoming releases that they have, and some of these games will hit retail earlier this month,
Okay.
which are sea salt paper,
Fair enough.
or Aurum. Aurum is a
Okay.
really, yeah. So there's like a couple of there's Beacon Patrol as well. Um, so yeah, those are the games that were exhibit at GenCon. There were also copies available there, but as always happened when they were sold out during the convention, there will be
Hmm.
the only available copies until the game actually hits retail, which is going to happen earlier this month. So that's
Okay.
pretty much. It's pretty excited. If you had a chance, it's not because I work with them. This is
There's no
completely
bias
separate.
here.
There is no
It's pure
publicity here.
honest. It's pure
This is
honest
yeah,
opinion
yeah,
from
yeah.
Mask and Maple.
As you can see right now, we cannot even have a known logo on the on the stream, so we are not having a sponsor yet.
No
So
sponsors for this episode.
this is just an honest
This is an
um,
invitation for sponsors. Thank you.
invitation. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, but no,
Very good.
definitely.
Very good.
I just recommended those because I play those. I actually ran a demo for one of those games, so I know pretty sure that um, if you're, especially if you're looking for games that are small games that will not take longer, maybe good fillers, between other heavy games, or maybe at the beginning of the night or at the end of the night, just how filler works.
Yeah,
So
fillers are there to fill in the space
Yeah,
and time of your
whatever.
lives.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yes, to
very
fill the
good, very
gaps.
good.
So yeah, that for me. And I just wanted to say that recently there was a, I don't know, probably most of you know, probably it is not mandatory for you to know, but if you follow the Dice Tower channel,
The who?
the Dice Tower, you know, this funny guy with the hat. This is always,
Yes. Yep.
so yeah, they had they normally try to make some content all the time,
Okay. I
for
mean,
the
that is.
audience,
I think that is your job.
for the audience. Yeah, that's the dream that they work for. Yeah, that's their job. That's their
That
actual
is your
job.
job.
That's so jealous right now. Um, so now the thing that I wanted to talk about is they stream a countdown for their uh, top 10 designers ever,
Oh
game
wow.
designers, right? And I got
Okay.
surprised about one thing that pretty much from all of them, they were agreed that Bruno Catala and Dr. Rainer Knizia, they were their favorite. They're more for them. There was like the top three,
Top three.
the
Which one
top
was the top
three.
one? I didn't see the video.
I don't remember, but for them, they were like they were Mike Delisio,
Oh,
Tom
okay, okay.
Basso,
So each
and
one
C.
had
Garcia.
different,
Yes, but they were like
but
the the
Bruno
coincidence.
Catala
Bruno
and
Catala and Dr.
Rainer
Rainer
Kinesia
Knizia. Yeah,
were shared. Like they all
they.
agreed that they was the top.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
just wanna take this moment to let you know that Bruno Catala is one of the designers of Cycloids. Thank you. That's all.
Mm-hmm. For okay, I was about to say I rather prefer Bruno Catala than Rainer Knizia, but now I
Perfect.
don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I mean honestly, I do. But yeah, I was just curious that they're both
That's cool.
amazing designers. I consider myself they're great. Um, before I ever entered this world in deep, it was like I have a lot of games, whatever I enjoy. I never even pay attention to who the designer was
Hmm.
until recently. I don't want to say exact dates for the reasons that I
Yeah.
mentioned before, but when I realized, or I said, okay, I know this guy. I have seen the name of this guy in other boxes around here. So yeah, I should realize that I have a lot of their games, both Catella and
I don't know
Knizia.
how they do it to make so many games. Like,
I know
where
it's
does it come from?
crazy. Yeah,
Where is
I
it?
mean,
What's the secret?
of course, there's a lot
Chat,
of yeah.
chat GPT. Probably chat GPT.
Yeah, so at this point, yes, I mean that's why they are so prolific. But that's what you just pointed out that it's very, very I won't say accurate, but it's interesting the way most of the people maybe thinks the same about these two
The top,
great
top
designers,
designers.
because they have a lot of games. There are games that are
Yeah,
considered classics,
and
and
they
also
still making
yeah,
games.
still
Like
making
they
games.
started like way at the beginning,
Yeah,
and they're still making games. Like
yeah.
they've been keeping up with the demands and the
Hmm.
innovations. They've
Yeah,
been keeping themselves relevant among other new designers.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. A lot of games that they have designed, um, are the base for other games.
Yeah, the mechanisms that they were the
They
first one
created. Yeah, exactly.
to
Yeah.
implement. A lot of people
Mhm.
have borrowed that from them.
Yeah.
Before I go with my chismecito, I think we have Alba to share that. Just before I logged on here, I saw that the second edition of Mad King Ludwig is going to be available soon. Has anyone played it? I've been waiting to play it for ages. I have
Mm.
not played it. Have you played it, Masked?
No, the one I have played was Between Two Castle of Mad King Ludwig.
I have
That's
played.
it. That's the only one, which I know for sure is a different game, but
Yeah,
just and also I have tried to get that game because it's been sold out in at Stone Meyer game store for a while. Um, the only time that I was about to buy it, some other guy in front of me took the only available copy, so
no.
it was a shame. So it wasn't
Uh,
destiny for was no, it wasn't mean for me. So anyway,
okay.
but yeah, no, I haven't played that, but I know for sure it's a great game. Hopefully, had the chance to play it. get it,
Mm-hmm.
play it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, in the
Okay.
next episode, once you get it, you'll have to let us know how it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you get it, you have to let us know how it plays.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Yeah. She also mentions, and Adri also mentions how amazing
Yeah,
these
they're
people are, these
masterminds.
designers,
Mm-hmm.
and the great games they have made. For me, the news I have for you guys in this episode is just to. I just want to share a little bit about my excitement of a Kickstarter game that's about should be arriving soon. From the company Minecraft Games, they made a
Ah.
game probably a year ago, 2 years. I don't know. With Kickstarter, it always takes so long, but they made this game called Voidfall. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah, of
Oof,
course. I
oof,
haven't bagged it.
oof. You have what?
I was about to bag the game,
Don't do it.
but I didn't, and I it's one of my biggest regrets since
I
I
have
playing here.
I have no idea how I'm gonna play the game, so it's okay. I'll figure out a way. But
You
it
back the
has a,
game?
it has a solo mode.
You back the game?
So, I did, I
Oh
did.
my god,
Oh yeah, I went
man!
all in. I was like, "My clutch,
Oof, yeah, of course.
get
You
get
have,
my
yeah,
money,
you have to
get my
have
money."
everything.
They
Yes, yes,
already
yes.
have a direct route to my bank account. They
Anachrony.
just take
They
it
made
out.
anachrony.
Yeah, they're the ones who made an acronym. So Boyfall, just very briefly, it's a they convinced me not only with the art, which is done
It's
by the
amazing.
famous Ian O'Toole,
Yeah,
but
not
also
cool.
because it's a 4X game. What is it? Exterminate, exploit, explore, and what's the
Yeah.
last one? I don't know. But anyway, you
Oh
do
no,
all
no.
those things that are usually associated with um, miniatures, board games, kind of like what they call Ameritrash. But uh,
Oh, you
to
there?
play this game, it's through Euro style mechanisms, and the combat between factions is deterministic, which means that there's no dice rolling, there's no luck. It's just who's gonna win that battle. So
Hmm.
that got me very intrigued, and it's a Euro game, and I love Euro games. I went all in. That's all they had to say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
but we'll see. It's supposed to be arriving soon. Hopefully
There,
this week.
I
Hopefully this
have
week.
seen, through Instagram
Some
people
people
that I
already
have
got it.
received. Yeah,
Yeah,
have received their copies, and yeah, I know it's like stop. You're hurting me. It's hard
yeah,
to see this. Yeah, and actually,
yeah.
I was also um I remember there was a chance to get into the late pledge for the
Okay.
game,
And you
and
you were you were like, should I do it?
I put it in the card, everything. I swear, I put it in
And
the card.
then
I
you
was like,
unplug the computer,
no, I was like, yeah, I'll leave it for later, and that later
and
never
then
came.
good,
I'm like,
good,
no, no, not
not
good,
good.
no, not good, because I really would like to have the game, and I know it will be very difficult to have everything as it was in the during
Yeah,
the campaign. So shame of me.
yeah. But Minecraft
On
was a
my
really good game at bringing out
hmm hmm
their games to retail and
hmm
sometimes putting out their promos. And yes, Alba says it looks beautiful. I've seen everyone's photos, and the game is stunning. I mean, it's Ian O'Toole's art. It's O'Toole's art with the production of Minecraft, which is also they don't cut
oof,
corners when making their
oof.
games. It's mm,
Yeah,
mm,
Ian O'Toole is also one of those guys that are very famous in the industry. He
yeah,
has he's working with Lacerda. He's
yeah,
very
yeah.
famous for
That's
working
a famous
with
the famous
Lacerda.
duo.
Right, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's a guarantee. It's
yeah.
guaranteed.
I'm
And
excited. I'll make sure to share some pictures with you guys on Instagram, and
you
maybe I'll
better
do an
do. You
unboxing.
better do. You better do.
Um, so the other news I have it's about games that are coming out to Kickstarter eventually.
So
I
you are
am
gonna be the
not
Kickstarter
promoting.
guy. So you are gonna be the Kickstarter guy. Okay, yeah, you
I
can
guess I
take the
will
role.
be. I
I
guess
don't
I will
care.
be. You can come watch us for your Kickstarter news. Um, so
Um,
two games. I have thought of one, but since we were talking about Boyfall, I just remembered that Minecraft is very soon gonna be having another Kickstarter for one of the games that I have from them, and it's called what's it called? Forgot. Oh man,
Shame of you.
I forgot. It's the dinosaur game.
Oh, dominant
Was it?
species.
No, that's well. What
Dominant
is it
species.
called? Oh no, what's
Oh,
it
sorry, this is
called?
another game that he loves, so I just
Oh,
have to
Dominant
confuse your
Species.
mind.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be a different story, different
Mm.
episode. Um, Oh man, feel so bad. I cannot
I'm
remember,
sorry. No, I
but
mean you're
I
you're
can
you're
tell. I
supposed
can
to have
describe the
in
game.
charge of this section, man. So
I can describe the game. It came out. They came out. So the game, it's about uh, that we're castaways. So we were traveling on this cruise ship. The cruise ship, I don't know. There was an accident. It We had to swim towards shore, and we went to this island, and we are castaways in this island. So we're trying to survive and making uh society on the island. It's a worker placement game, but we also in the island that we don't know about, there are dinosaurs, and we're trying to defend our settlement from dinosaurs. Anyway, they describe this whole game like a saga of games. So they're making
okay.
4 games about this topic, and each game picks up on its previous game, but makes, I don't know, adds something, a new mechanic or something. So the
Wow.
first game was episode 1 and episode 2. I'll try to remember. I'm sorry about not remembering the name, but they promised that they were gonna make episode 3 and I think episode 4
Is it?
too.
It came from Mind Clash.
Mind Clash.
Perseverance.
Perseverance, yes.
Uh,
Perseverance. That's the game. Yep, that's the game.
Perseverance.
That's the one I
Perse-
could not remember. But I
Ah,
think
you're
they're making.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, Mascot. You're always so knowledgeable.
No,
Uh,
I just googled it, but yeah, go ahead.
so they're coming out. They're coming out with episode 3 and 4
Hmm.
soon.
Yeah.
I think at the end of this year or some point this year they're gonna come out with that. So I'm like, well, I already have 1 and 2. My completionist self tells me that I need 3 and 4.
Of course, you have.
Of
Yeah, yeah,
course. I mean,
yeah. Of course, this is
how can
no,
I only
without
have one and
question.
two, right? Without
Yeah, of
question.
course. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
that's one game. The second game,
Mm.
it's a game from Awakened Realms. You can tell that I have a couple of favorite publishers that make games that just
hmm
mesmerize me and always convince me.
uh,
But this game is they're coming out with multiple games.
oh, so
They're coming.
there's someone. Uh-oh.
Here,
Okay.
well,
Yeah,
let's
go
let's
ahead.
go
Go
through a
ahead.
couple of
Go
comments.
ahead.
Let's go through a
Go ahead.
couple of comments. We have others just says hide your wallets, and Alva's just making like a surprise face, and my wife Haley is over there like taking notes
She-
on
she-
why
She's the
why
eye in the sky,
why
you
is
know?
money
She's the eye
disappearing
in
and
the
why is
sky.
it what
Hmm.
this is the reason why strange boxes with board game components come through to our house every other
Mm.
month or week or you
Yeah.
know. Anyway,
Mm. Hmm.
the last game I want to share it's called Eclipse. I think Dragon Eclipse. Dragon
Okay.
Eclipse from Awakened Realms. And Awakened Realms art, like I was talking about earlier, is it's just beautiful. But the game, it's like a Pokemon game for you guys that know the Pokemon franchise.
Hmm.
It's a campaign. It's a cooperative campaign game where you have these Pokemon creatures looking. It's not the Pokemon brand, but you,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
tell it's the idea.
yeah. It would be amazing, you know, like do you have
If they
Pokemon
can
really?
they
Oof.
probably were trying to save some money from by
Yeah,
avoiding
yeah, copyright.
having to pay
Yeah,
the
copyright.
Nintendo. I think it's Nintendo, but
Yeah, yep.
uh
Niantic.
they made their own creatures, and the point is that you're catching creatures and you are fighting creatures to catch them,
In
and you
a
gotta
balls
collect them all.
in a
I don't
creature
know if
balls.
it's Pokeballs. I haven't looked into the
In a
details of
creature
that.
balls they call.
But it's called Dragon Eclipse. It's
Mm,
very interesting. I don't know
mm,
how. I'll have to read more into the details of it to see if it's something that convinces me or not. But
mm.
the whole idea that it's similar to the Pokemon franchise, it got me very intrigued. But yeah, those are the 2 games that I'm excited about that are coming out to Kickstarter GameFound. I don't know, one of the
Yeah,
fundraising
yeah,
websites.
the upcomings. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice. Perfect.
perfect.
Have you backed Septima from Mind Clash?
I
Yeah.
did. I did during the late pledge. I could not. I passed. I
Ah,
passed. I passed on the
you
first
hear
check. I
that?
was like,
You hear that, Haley?
hell yeah.
I just wanted
We're
to,
gonna cut. We're gonna cut.
I just
We're
want
gonna
to get.
cut this episode right here.
I just want to hear your confession, man. That's the only one I
No,
want.
yeah, hell, if you're hearing, we're expecting Septima on the mail.
Oh, nice, perfect. Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
she will like. It's about witchcraft
Yeah,
and being
exactly, bro.
witches
Yeah, she will
and
love it
worker
for
placement.
sure.
I,
Well,
I got it for us.
exactly. Win to win combination. Perfect.
Yes. Um. Perfect. So I think it's time to bring this episode to a close.
Brochure.
Yeah, I think that was very successful. I had a really good time. How about you, Mascot?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I thought, like I said at the beginning, I thought it will be like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
When it comes to board games, we always know what to say.
This is what happened after game night, people. You're just
It is
chatting. You're just
just
chatting
chatting.
and chatting and spend a good time. You sometimes, try to blow away the table because you lost, or maybe you are just laughing around the table, or maybe just having a good chat. And this is what happened. Sometimes I will
This is
blow
what
up
happens.
mind of Axel here, and maybe we'll get mad. Whatever. This is just a
It'll be a
normal
short episode then.
conversation after game night, pretty much
Yes,
so
that is
far.
true. Yeah, so
Mm.
hopefully you guys enjoy the episode. We'll be back next Monday at 9 p.m.
I
Eastern
promise.
time. Promise.
Mhm.
We'll figure out what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna be sharing, the structure of the episode. We're gonna be sharing what we've been playing. We're gonna be sharing any news that we have, and we're gonna have a topic of the week. And we'll make sure to share that question in our Instagram. So if you wanna participate, then you're also more than welcome to participate
In the
during
live
the
chat.
live stream. Yeah,
Yes,
we love
yes,
that,
yes.
and thank you
Yeah,
very
I
much
like
for
it. Yeah, I like it too.
everyone that that joined us for this premiere of the grand opening of After Game Night podcast. Alba, Adri, Haley was
Mandy,
there, Mandy
Mandy.
was there. Yeah, we
So
appreciate
yeah,
you a lot.
yeah.
All right,
And for
Master,
the
you
people,
want to
and
say some?
for you people, because this stream will be
Yeah,
available in our YouTube channel as well.
we expect to see you
So
next time.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So you will find it, and if you have some friends and you want to recommend, oh, these guys are like whatever you consider we are. Yeah, just share the stream with them, and
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see you next time here. Just we'll close the episode with sharing some info about our accounts, I guess, Axel.
Yeah, yeah. So if you wanna remember, if you wanna keep up with the question of the week and the episodes or any funny moments that we have through the episodes, we'll be sharing
Mhm.
those through our Instagram account after game night. Uh, if you wanna know a little bit more about our personal experiences with board games, you can find Masked through the Masked Meeple on Instagram, and you can find me as Dados and Amigos on Instagram and YouTube. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, thank you everyone. Drink some water, play some games, and we'll be seeing you on the next
You
episode
cannot
next
resist
week.
that, right? Okay, yeah, see you. Bye.
Bye.